So just to like give you guys a little bit of a heads up of what's going on with this. Uh, I'm over here on this side. So this is the girl I'm talking to right here, this booty. This booty right here is the one that Avery's talking to. Avery just approached this. So what happened was we were walking. We're actually on our way back home. We got in like a couple of infields and I was like, all right, I'm kind of tired. Let's call it quits for the day. So I see this cute girl behind me and we're talking about how we think that like a lot of relationships are codependent and probably terrible relationships. And I'm like, actually here, case study, survey time. And I turned her around and I started walking backwards. As these girls were behind us, I said, hey, have you ever fallen madly in love with a man? And she's like, what? I'm like, have you ever fallen head over heels for a guy? And she goes, never. And I said, I'm like, why? And she like looked confused and a little bit like in her head for a second. She, I don't know. And I said, lesbian? And she goes, no. And I said, why not? Homophobic? And she goes, no. And then she said, and then I said, dude, girls are tenfold hotter than men. I mean, I'm glad that you guys find us attractive. And then I gesture at myself, like my full body. I'm glad you find us attractive, like indicating that she finds me attractive. And then I said, but I honestly don't see it. Me, I think we look like these giant hairy beasts, these fat ogres. I think that you girls look absolutely fucking. What did I say? I said something along the lines of, I think girls are like, if you actually did like took like two sets of girls, you grabbed like a group of 20 guys and 20 girls, and you asked anybody who do you want to see naked, the girls or the guys. Straight women would say the girls, straight guys would say the girls. The only people that would probably say guys are gay people. Like it's insane. It's just insane lean. Guys are not attractive on average. And she starts laughing. She goes, yeah, I agree. And that's where we're at now. I don't know if actually I might be, hopefully he actually caught that part of the infield here, but the verbals are really good. At this point I was a little tired, but it was
I was gonna say this is some older man there, like some like wrinkly man. Hey, it's your thing. No, it's your thing, dude. I'm not judging. Do you? I know, I just want to fuck with you a bit. It's kind of fun.
No, yeah, I'm glad. Thank you.
See, I've had 3 hours of sleep last night. I'm delirious.
Oh, stop.
And so I was teasing her about being into old men because she's from Miami or Florida or something like that. I said, hey, you're just trying to pick up on older men. And she's like, no. I'm like, do you like the low hanging balls? And she goes, no. I'm like, you like to wrap them around your throat, call him daddy? And she's like, no. And then she's like, and then, right there I was like basically letting her know that I was fucking with her because I didn't want her thinking she was the butt of a joke. Because I've been fucking with her this entire time.
Delirious?
Oh, stop.
And sober.
It's even worse.
Dude, it sucks right now. I wanted to drink, but we have this no drinking thing that we're trying to do it for a month.
Why?
And so,
Why would you do that and come here?
because apparently I hate myself.
Do you live here?
I do live here, yeah.
Okay, that's
That was a good, how did you pick that up?
because you're not drinking when you're in Vegas.
Well, you can't, if you live here, you can't drink.
What?
You can, I mean, if I'm out with my friends at a party or something like that, I will. Otherwise though, it's like, I'm not trying to kill my liver. I'm very fond of it, you know?
I'll drink if I want to get lit.
Well, how old are
But
you?
I mean, I'm not 21, but my ID says I am, so.
Okay. All right, well, you're still in that phase where you can like destroy the shit out of it. You can bounce back.
Yeah.
So me, if I drink, I'll look at the mirror the next morning, I hate myself. I think about my mother. I think about the rejection my mother fed me and all the lies. Wait, daddy or mommy's girl?
What?
Daddy or mommy's girl?
I'm neither.
You hate them both? They both suck? All right, no, it's okay. We're friends. We're really close by this point, right? In like the 2 minutes we've been talking.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Really tight.
We're all like.
Well, I don't even think I got. What's your name?
Sitting.
Levi.
Levi, nice to meet you.
Yeah. How did this happen again?
Avery.
You need to stop approaching boys. All right, this is weird. You just approached me out of nowhere. Now we're in a conversation.
You
don't know what if I had a girlfriend, dude?
Okay,
Come
you
on.
approached me and you asked if I was a lesbian, so I don't even want to hear it.
Well,
Like,
I thought it was
that
funny, to be
boundary
honest.
right
I
there.
legit thought it was funny, so it's my
was
bad.
funny.
Well, how about this? If anybody comes into this, let's see how can we fuck with people.
I said I would date
All right,
Vinny, and
there's
then
gonna
you
be some
said,
salesman at some point. They'll probably walk up to us because Vegas. What did we tell them?
I did a lot of really clever things right there if you guys didn't catch it. So I was basically I'm trying to frame it that she was a bad girl there for a second. So then she was more open. Then I started talking about adventure stuff, about drinking and partying to show her that I didn't care about that kind of those kind of things, because I want to try to pump her into an adventurous frame and let her know that I won't judge her for that kind of stuff. Then I made it so then I accused her of approaching me instead of the other way around. And I started saying, you need to stop approaching cute boys, assuming also saying that I was cute and attractive and hiding that in the frame. So the cool thing about frames is that whenever you put a frame, when you put multiple frames over the top, she's gonna fight the frames. But here's the thing: which frame have all those frames she gotta fight? She's gonna fight the one that I approached her. So the frame that gets snuck in there is that I'm attractive, and she finds me attractive. You see, like all that shit I'm doing. Like it's like I'm stacking.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking smart, man.
Here, actually, I should rewind this because I did a lot more shit than that.
What?
Daddy or mommy's girl?
I'm neither.
You hate them both? They both suck?
See, that was also challenging there. That was playful. What, they both suck? Like I know. See, the funny thing is too is that I know she loves both her parents. Because she said that, it means that she's actually probably really healthy minded. But I wanted to fuck with her, and I wanted her to kind of. So I'm being playful with the vibe and the tone. So I'm like, what? They both suck.
All right, no, it's okay. We're friends. We're really close by this point, right? In like the 2 minutes we've been talking.
So now I'm like making a joke about how that was just like a little bit of a tease too. Like that's like a little bit of a we frame.
Yeah, no, yeah. I feel
Yeah,
like,
really
I feel
tight.
Like we're all like.
Well, I don't even think I got. What's
And if you haven't noticed too, I keep cutting her off. Like, so this actually, it's both good and bad that I'm doing this. So I keep cutting the threads. Cutting threads is very dominant. So it's good in that sense that I'm cutting the threads, but it's also a little bit like I'm not letting her invest as much as she could. In retrospect, I probably should have let her invest a little bit more, but I was having a lot of fun in this and I was a little bit tired and delirious. So yeah.
your name?
Soothing.
How did this happen again?
And also befriending the friends, that's huge. Like I don't see people ever befriending the friends. Like the girls' friends are the gatekeepers. They're the ones that are gonna be like, no, Sydney, you can't go home with him. Yeah. So you got to like talk to them at least like a little bit so they like you. If you're part of their social circle, like now you're okay. So I'm intertwining myself into the social circle, showing her that I'm socially intelligent.
Avery.
You need to stop approaching boys.
I've seen that's also a little bit me also saying too that I never do this in a way. Like basically framing it so I know that I'm too smooth at this point. So I'm also framing it a little bit that how did this happen again? Like kind of making it sound like, you know, like it just happened naturally and it wasn't like a pre-planned thing.
This is weird. I like just approached me out of nowhere. Now we're in a conversation.
You
know, what if I had a girlfriend, dude?
Okay,
come
you
on.
approached me and you.
And that was her friend actually gave an attractive laugh. That was a high-throated attractive laugh. So her friend was like, thought it was hilarious.
And you asked if I was a lesbian, so I don't even want to hear it.
Well,
Like,
I thought it was
you're
funny, to be
boundary
honest.
right
I
there.
legit thought it was funny, so it's my
was
bad.
funny.
Well, how about this? If anybody comes into this,
You said you like
let's see, how can we fuck with people?
I said I would date
All right,
Vinny. And
there's
then
gonna be
you
some
said,
salesmen at some point. They'll probably walk up to us because Vegas. What do we tell them to really fuck with them?
I didn't hear you said I would date Vinny. Give me something. I want to use it.
I do too.
You literally live here. You have to know something.
Well, I would tell you what I did with my ex, but that's not something I want to bring back up. So we one time.
You said I have big pupils. No, you don't. She asked about the Coke tonight. I don't do Coke. Is there food anywhere near here? Is there good food anywhere near here?
There's a Grand Lux. You know what Grand Lux is?
Yeah.
Follow me. Come on.
Shrooms.
But what if I don't want it?
They have everything. I mean, unless you don't like everything.
All
All right, what do you want? What are you feeling?
I don't know.
I'll see what they got.
What do you feel like? I don't know.
They got breakfast, dinner, steak, Mexican, salad. They have,
All in one place?
And everything.
dude, I'm not playing. Like here, watch, follow me. This is the spot that I always take my friends to late at night. So we run our own businesses and we're all nocturnal because
Nice.
Vegas.
No, yeah. I don't
And
do that shit.
yeah. Well, what do you want to do like for a living?
I don't know. I'm in college to be an ultrasound technician.
So like what I said right there was that what, you don't like everything? And that's how I kind of like fixed it. She's like, well, what do they have? And that was when I kind of like, that's like, do you see how like I led that really hard? Like watch how assumptive this is.
Anywhere near here?
I mean, unless you don't like everything.
Shrooms. Shrooms.
No, you don't. She asked about the Coke tonight. I don't do Coke. Is there food anywhere near here? Is there good food anywhere near here?
There's a Grand Lux. You know what Grand Lux is?
Yeah.
Follow me. Come on.
Shrooms.
But what if I want it?
They have everything.
Well, what do you want to do like for a living?
I don't know. I'm in college to be an ultrasound technician, but I don't know if I want to be one.
Okay,
Just kinda
way too
exploring it.
deep for a first conversation ever with anybody, but I'm gonna say it anyways.
Okay.
Given $1 million to say I was gonna give you $1 million yearly to do where the fuck you wanted, and it could be anything, but it had to be a job, what would you do?
It had to be a job.
Yeah, like something that people
I'd
get paid
probably
for.
buy- Yeah, I was gonna say I'd probably buy like.
Don't say stripping, don't say stripping,
Fuck
don't.
no.
I mean,
Actually, so I recognized in the beginning that I was messing up with my tone. So here I'm starting to fix it. I'm starting to use my pauses again, which actually I wish in retrospect that I was talking more in my stomach and I was also punching a little bit harder with my tone, but it's still way better than it was in the beginning. Like right now, like I said, that's my sticking point is my tone. Sometimes I'm like, I put too much pressure on myself to have amazing verbals all the time. And Avery's right. Me and Avery talk about this. The big thing is that like honestly, boring is good enough. Like that's a really big thing that you have to teach yourself. So even though that like the verbals in this are really tight and really like layered, you want to make sure like in your head, you want to tell yourself that boring is good enough because if you believe that you're good enough, the anything you say will honestly be good enough. This is just like really high level shit. So if you guys are watching this and you guys are like, oh, I can't do all that. I can't pull a girl. That's not the truth. Like this is me and Avery have just been doing this for like a combined like 17, 18 years. Like me, like and Avery obsessively. Avery doing it for like 7, me doing it for over 10. So I've just been doing nothing but this. So it just makes sense that I can do this. So if you guys are like, oh no, I can't pull a hot girl, I'll tell you this. I was an absolute idiot. Had no like not social awareness. I was a dipshit, and I was still like taking like attractive girls home every so often. This is just like really advanced shit. Here.
Oh, well, what do you want to do like for a living?
So now I'm slowing it down because I was like pumping, being really wild, and I don't want to lose it. So I pump the attraction. Now I need to get comfort. I also need to start building up more of a connection. So I was doing a lot of emotional connection. Now we need a logical connection. So now I'm gonna start slowing it down a lot, and I'm gonna start like trying to get to know her and start screening her. So I'm gonna start getting her chasing a bit.
Deal.
Buy like maybe like a hotel or something and like make money off that bitch. Like one.
So like Monopoly.
So you.
You can play more like Monopoly.
I've never played Monopoly.
Wait.
Monopoly.
Well, what do you like doing for fun? Like legit.
Nothing work related. Yeah.
No. Like I had a friend that loved playing video games and he became a pro at that shit.
Oh.
Like.
Are you talking about me again?
No, it's actually a guy I met at Azusa's. I haven't seen him in literally years, but he's very massively overweight, but he was pretty successful in what he did.
I sing, dance.
Yeah, this was a really deep conversation, wasn't it? I'll tell you what I wanted to do. I want to be a fantasy writer and a sci-fi writer.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
It's an extremely hard industry to get into. Started blogging though. Use that skill to blog, and ended up popping off.
What?
Blogging when it was popular.
Oh yeah. I had that phase too. I was like, I loved Logan Paul. I know.
Oh no, I actually met him.
But stop.
My friend's friends with him.
Stop.
Dude, I'm not playing.
No, I'm not.
Dude, here, wait, come here.
I actually started whispering to pull her into the conversation more. So the cool thing about whispering is that it makes it sound more like a secret, and it makes people pay attention more. I love varying the tone and playing with it. So right here, I'm whispering a little bit more and talking more in that kind of way to make it feel more intimate. So I'm giving more of the intimate vibe with the tone. And so my camera guy, so actually right here, I'm not gonna lie, I got in my head, and I'll tell you why. So I love this camera guy, but he got about like 4 feet away from us holding the camera in front of his face. And I was like, oh my God, if these girls turn around right now, they're gonna see him. So I started moving the girls. So I was gonna stop the girls there and like build a little bit more rapport and start building more of a chase frame. But then I saw him right there, and I was like, shit. And at this point now, I didn't know if one of the girls may have like started getting suspicious. And I think Avery's girl here in a second asked me what the little blue light thing is on my back pocket. And Avery, I think tells her it's a charger. And Avery tells me afterwards that she ended up believing it. But I was like, at this point, I was like halfway, like 20% of my head or like 50% of my head was worrying that like the girls like were getting suspicious. And so I started trying to get out of the interaction. So I'm walking over to Grand Lux, and right now all I'm trying to do is make the numbers solid. And then from there, I just cut it off and we leave after the Grand Lux. But I was kind of starting to worry about the camera and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it never ended up actually popping off. Like, so they ended up like cutting everybody loose. We were in the last 5. They cut everybody loose, and they actually made it into a TV show. It was with.
Well, actually, here I'm gonna skip it to the end and just show you guys how like I get the phone number and whatnot, because that whole middle part's kind of just pointless.
Like 6 a.m.
Okay, yeah. It's touch and go. It depends what day it is. Bye.
Oh, then I doubled down. My name is actually Levi.
Okay.
Yeah, I can show you my wallet if you want to see.
Nice.
Honestly, actually, I'm just gonna tell you exactly what I did. So right here, she's putting down her phone number. We're exchanging information. I set up the date. I say, hey, want to hang out at this time? You do that always in person. Make one joke. You hang out a little bit longer after the phone number to make it not feel like a trophy phone number. Yada yada yada. Joke with them, tease, help out, make jokes, act like it's not a big deal, and yeah, pretty much done. Any questions?
Denton, I have a question.
Go for it.
When you after you get their number, do you always set up the date then and there, or do you do it over text?
I try to set it up there. So this is the way you do it. Hey, actually, you're pretty cool. What are you up to this week? When are you free? And then usually the girl either be like, oh, I'm busy, but I'm actually free Saturday. And you'd be like, cool. All right, let's go get. Do you like coffee? Do you eat things? Do you like food? She'll usually chuckle and she'll be like, yes. I'm like, well, here, let's go get this. Or then I'll be like, she goes, no. I'm like, well, perfect. You want to get hookah? And so either way, like it's just kind of like it's just kind of like a joking kind of thing, but it like gets the girl saying yes. It gets her on a yes ladder, but also in a joking kind of laughy way. But if she says no, they'd be like, dude, no worries. She's like, oh no, sorry, I'm really busy and I got to all these things going, blah, blah, blah. And like, she's all over the place. Then what you say is like, dude, don't even worry about it here. Just throw down your number and I'll text you and see where you're at. And I leave it at that. It's like taking the pressure off, because a girl, when she says that, she feels pressure and she's not sure yet. So you take the pressure off. And by taking the pressure off, she's actually more than likely to hang out with you now, because it's like when a guy pushes for sex, when he gets a girl home, the girl's like, oh no, we're not gonna have sex. And then you just say, dude, don't even worry about it. Like, that's not the reason I'm hanging out with you. Then usually the girl has sex with you because you say that, because you took the pressure off. In the same way, you take the pressure off in this way, and usually the girl will hang out with you because you took the pressure off in that way. Yeah. What do you think of that?
So you do that before the number or after the number?
You do that. You do that after the number. Oh no. So you do that before the number. So like right there, like what I'm doing is like I'm asking, wait, when are you free this week? And then if she says, I'm really busy, and I'm like, dude, don't even worry about it here. And I hand her my phone. Like, here, put your phone number down. I'll text you up later and see where you're at. And then that's how you get the phone number. And then from there, usually I hang out for maybe like another 1 to 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So she doesn't feel like it's a trophy phone number, joke with her, get her energy up, pump her energy, make her laughing, because you want to leave her on a good note, because the last emotional state she's in is going to be the emotion that she attaches your entire interaction to. So I'll usually hang out with her a little bit longer, get her laughing, and then I'll leave on a laugh. Make sense? Like, people are very emotional.
Yeah,
girls are very girls are less logical than men oftentimes. Most people are very emotional on average, but unless you're really like chasing your purpose and really thinking things through, usually you're a very emotional person, whether you know it or not. And you're also stuck in logical fallacies. So people will attach their emotions to their logic. They'll make an emotional decision and rationalize it with logic after the fact. So like a girl will be like get really pissed off because her boyfriend or whatever did something, and then like she doesn't like know where the anger is coming from. So then she'll take it out on her male best friend, who's a total wimp, and then like just take it out on him, thinking it's his fault. And like maybe he'll just say something, and she'll be like, yeah, well, what the fuck? How dare you say that? But really, it wasn't his fault. It was because like her boyfriend did some stuff, but she didn't feel like she didn't want to say it to him because she didn't want to upset him. And so instead, she takes it out on her friend who didn't deserve it. So in the same way, people will like kind of like take an emotional decision and rationalize it with logic after the fact. So I will like make sure that I end on the emotional high note as much as humanly possible, which this is very much like more of like a 10 to 15% improvement on game. Don't make this like your entire game. It's just like, I'm stacking the 1% at this point. Like, I'm trying to do everything I possibly can to make my game as good as humanly possible. And so that's just a very small thing that I do. Any other questions?
Also, Denton, what if the set doesn't go well? Like you're talking to a girl, she's not receptive. Do you still go for do you still schedule the date then and there, or you just wait it out and do it over text?
On occasion. So there's a lot of different answers to that, because it depends on there's so many nuances in what could be happening in the set. So here, I'm gonna start pacing while I'm talking, because I was gonna help me think this through. So let's say, for example, like the girl's just being like ice. Like, let's say I'm getting a little bit of an ice vibe. If I'm getting an ice vibe, it depends. There's different types of ice vibes. There's like just more of a cool ice vibe where she's trying to be a little hard to get. There's an ice vibe that's like blasé, which is blasé that I'm gonna like basically, so what I do is I do this little mental game with myself where I let myself let go of the set. So say I'm talking to a girl, and I'm like, okay, she's icing me. So no matter what, I'm not getting the set. So in my head, I play a little bit of mental gymnastics, and I tell myself, look, you're not going to get the set either way. So why don't you let go of the set, not care about it, and use the set for your own self-amusement. And now because I do this, now the girl will start chasing me and start stop becoming an ice queen and start trying to chase me down. Like, do you see how that works?
Yeah.
Then there's like another form of like what you're talking about, where it's like the girl's just kind of being like more cool. Sometimes those sets where the girl's just being cool, like I'll grab a phone number from her and she actually was super into me. She was just like kind of in her head or trying to play hard to get. And sometimes like the girl's just like a little locked up. But then like, you know, then she's super like receptive over text, like sending like text with a lot of exclamation points and whatnot, being really excited to hang out with you. Like sometimes like some sets are like, even though I've been doing this for a while, like I have a general idea of what's going to go down, but sometimes there's those sets where I'm just not 100% sure. And when that happens, that's like the best way to I guess you could say, sell that one. There are so many different types. Like, so what you're talking about specifically, there's so many different types of sets that fit exactly what you said. So it's a little bit hard to explain. So can you narrow it down a bit, or did that answer your question?
No, that answered my question.
Okay, sick. Well, actually, here, let's move on to one of your guys' infield. Let's check this stuff out.
King, give me the throne. I need a queen, she better than most. I need a palace, I need a horse. If you want gold, then I am the source. I need a crown, I need a sword. I got my team, we going to war. You are my kids, you be my pawns. We don't relate, you taking a loss. I am a king, give me the throne. I need a queen, she better than most. I need a palace, I need a horse. If you want gold, then I am the